Are we really sitting here talking about Tevin's cabinets? Oh, we're live.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
here we go.
Cabinets are great. Hey, what's up, live?
Well, I mean, this is a dad show.
Yeah,
and
just a dad stream. I admire the kitchenware, you know? Like,
yeah. Good job, Tevin. What are those kitchens? Are those like, that real wood, or is that like one of those fake woods?
No, it's real.
oh, this was intentional. You oh, okay. All right.
I'm also eating, so that explains a couple things.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Nope, everybody's good now.
Johnny, come on, use your words. Sound it
Did we
out.
get-
That was almost going to be me because my wife just came home with dinner, and I literally just finished eating before when I clicked the button to come onto the green room here. That's why I just finished eating. So that was almost going to be me, like eating on the live stream.
I don't care, man. If you got to eat on the live stream, that's the life of a dad.
I don't usually go on live until it's like 8:30, 9 o'clock ish at the later times, So this is early for me. Like
Yeah, Johnny was a little mad at me that I pushed the time back. Honestly, Johnny was like, "Why are we moving?"
I suggested it.
Johnny's like, "Why are we moving?" Then I was like, "Oh, we're moving because of this," and he was like, "All right, so then we'll do it at 7."
You started this before midnight. That's Johnny's time. There's midnight.
I know. My God.
Dude, Johnny said no to an after dark for the first time I've ever seen
I got sick
on Wednesday night.
I had a headache. I was all messed up.
It was the first time I've ever seen it happen.
First time.
And I was saying no from the door, but I'm like, Johnny might. And Johnny's like, nope, I'm not doing it.
No.
He was like, nope, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, no, I don't know what it was. It was a bad day.
Say hello to everyone in the chat. Miss Bluegrass, how are you? And, I want to send you lots of credit for putting up with the man that you're married to. Hey, Cam, how you doing?
Me too. How are you, sir?
At least she's involved and she supports his hobbies.
Yeah, no, I think it's awesome, dude. I do, because the last girl that was with me for 7 years broke up with me and said, "How can the beard world be more important to me?" I was like, "Well, they're nice to me, so there's that."
Mine just doesn't act like it doesn't exist.
Matt the sports beard, Tyson, Matt the hair guy. He's new. I've never seen him in a live.
That's my son. That's my older son.
Oh, okay. There we go. Yeah. And then there's a little kid in here. What's going on, Devin? How you doing?
What's up, little brother?
I mean, we did do an early one tonight. We did do an early one, so he doesn't have to go to bed anytime soon. He should be good.
Poor Devin. He gets so much crap from you, it's not even funny.
Excuse me. Wait a minute. Time out. That boy gives as good as he gets, okay? How many times a day do you think he calls me old? I mean, let's say count here.
Yeah, probably.
Do we really got to count?
All right. So if you guys pay attention, I do the Chronicles of the Bearded Dad sometimes lately. I haven't done one in a while because, to be honest with you, to turn on the camera and do something like that, you got to really want to do it in that moment. You have to want to talk about that stuff.
Yep.
Otherwise, it just doesn't come out right, and it just seems like you're just saying things to say them. So more lately, I've kind of hit the brakes on it because I just haven't wanted to talk about that stuff. But what I wanted to do was bring together a group of extremely different dads, and I think I've done a pretty good job of that here, okay? And share in the dad experience. What the hell is dad life like? I don't know. I've only got my dad life to give experience on. That's it. I don't know what everyone else's life is like. Do you guys go through the same crap I do? I have no idea.
I think we're about to find out.
That's exactly the point tonight. That's exactly the point tonight. So, go ahead, let's do introductions real quick. Next to me is a man who you should be in shock that he can actually sit up straight still. He's so damn old. That's Chris from that channel to be named later. How you doing tonight, brother?
Here's my edited comment. Figure it out.
It's blurred out. You can't really see.
Oh, man, Joe, thanks for having me on here. I mean, as some of you know on my channel, I do a step-parent series because I am one of the two incredible children. And I'm starting to do like a life vlog to combine everything that's going on and try to let you see behind the insanity,
Yeah. Oh, Miss Bluegrass, I know. And it's awesome, and we appreciate seeing the women in the supporting the guys as they go out there and act like nut jobs, all because of these beard products and these guys that we all love hanging out with. So it's awesome to see something like that. Seriously.
You've seen Ken's lives, right? If he was any more laid back, he'd be in a coma.
I'm just curious when I see guys like Ken, like, do you even get angry? Like, does it happen?
Oh, it happens.
Oh yeah, I
It
can
happens.
see it. Yeah, I can see
Even
that.
right there, it was just, oh, it happens.
Yeah,
It happens.
yeah.
All
I think
right, and then we
as
got.
I've gotten older, though, it's gotten less, and I've dealt with it differently, right?
Oh, that's weird. As it's gotten older, I've gotten
I
less,
see the
but I don't
struggle
deal
to
with
keep
it any better.
I see the struggle to keep a level head. You know,
Older.
Speaking of struggles to keep people's heads, Johnny, how's life going?
life is good. You know, I got the channel, Johnny Groomer's channel, and switching over to the grooming side and the bearded side, and while keeping the bearded side, of course, for now. And just doing my thing, head shaves, beard care.
Beheadings.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That was one time.
Also, don't forget his skin sacrifices and offerings to the gods every time he shaves his head.
That's just trial
Something
and
like
error.
that too.
Right.
That's the learning experience. You know, that's
Waxings.
the learning how to shave quick and efficiently with a straight edge razor or a double edge razor.
You're not going to hear any complaints from me, dude. Listen, if it was me doing it, you guys would have to call the cops because you'd have to call 911 for me. I'd be cutting myself so bad. Johnny'd be over there like, Joe's going to die soon. Hold on. Yeah, listen, I know he lives in Jersey somewhere. Just get a cop to him, please.
Look, he's still streaming. I don't know. Triangulate the signal. I don't know. Something.
Tevin, my friend, how are you tonight?
Fantastic.
He's eating dinner.
Yeah, I see
Yeah.
that. That's why I tried to ask him now.
You wait till he's chewing. It's perfect.
Just like a
Tevin,
waitress
if you guys
coming to
didn't
your
know,
table.
is purposely bearded, who also has said recently he's making some changes and things.
Yep.
You
So,
excited
pretty
about
much-
all that?
So pretty much, I'm going from beard content or beard product reviews to just men's grooming in general. I found out that I have much more interest and love for other things such as soaps, shaving, and just other all men's grooming, as well as alcohol and cider reviews, which will eventually be coming in mid-August. I'll be making that announcement. I'll be making the change. I won't just be changing my content. I'll be changing the channel name, but you'll still get the same old me.
You still gonna throw stuff?
Yeah, I'm still good.
Awesome,
Stuff.
okay.
That's what makes me
Absolutely. Listen, I told Tevin he can never change. I don't give a damn what anybody has to say. Okay? If anybody's got an issue with you, just send them to me and I'll take care of things. All right? Because you're
Done.
golden just the way you are, dude.
done.
And then Ken, how are you tonight, my friend?
I'm doing great, Joe. How are you, sir?
Oh, just another day in paradise.
Right.
Empty house.
Hey,
Kinda.
hey.
I mean, like I said, my soon-to-be brother-in-law's in and out. My little brother's somewhere in his dungeon somewhere. So I'm basically here alone. And I'm not gonna lie, we always complain we want our kids to go somewhere. I miss Sam. I do.
Yeah.
I'm lonely.
It's been one day, man.
Yeah,
I know.
let me-
Shut up. Leave me
I
alone.
know.
Let me tell you, man. We pick up two. So my oldest son is here. Two of our kids are in Wisconsin right now. We pick them up tomorrow. So I feel your pain. They've been gone for 2 weeks.
It's only been a day, dude, and she comes back on Monday. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but it's only been a day, and I'm like, can I like call you like voice chat or video chat so we can play a board game or something? Like,
No, Dad, no.
I don't know what to do, man. That's been my life. You know what I mean? Since the day she was born until now, that has been my life. It has been me and Sam. So when she's not around, I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't really know how to be a normal single adult anymore. I don't know how to do that stuff.
Oh, I forgot. I'm not a moderator on your channel. I was gonna boot Matt.
Hold on.
Why? What do you
Oh,
do?
I can't do it on here. Why can't I do it on here? That's
Wait.
so weird.
Oh well.
Oh, I'm a moderator. No, I'm kidding.
Johnny is a moderator, and
I
so
really
is Chris,
am.
I believe. So, you got friends on screen that got the power, sir. Just, give them the nod.
What do you do? Oh, he's just,
Well, right now the Bucks are winning, so we're good.
Oh, man, you're one of those Giannis fanboys?
Hey, Ken,
Absolutely.
just for you. Do you need
Fear the
a
deer,
timeout?
baby.
Timeout right now? Timeout?
Nah, I don't do it. Matt's cool.
Listen, Giannis is a fine player and all. Just don't ask him to shoot.
What are you talking
You don't
about?
need to shoot. I mean, if all he has to do is be around the goal to score. You don't need a
Goal? It's called a basket. This ain't soccer.
Hockey.
It's called a goal in soccer too, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right then. Did you understand what I was saying?
I
Yes.
never do.
All right then, old man, be quiet.
Huh? Get off my lawn, youngster! Get off my lawn!
And if you guys don't know, me and Chris talk like 4 times a day. I'm allowed to bust his balls, okay?
I
I'm
break
allowed
his
to mess
every
with him.
chance. I break his every chance I can.
Absolutely. That is the job of true brothers. If you're not
Right.
picking on each other, I don't know what the hell's going on in life.
All right.
All right, so we're just going to run down a few things here, a few things that I want to know. And everybody on this stream is a dad, every one of these guys. And, I mean, Tevin's a dad. He's a preacher, right? Am I saying that right?
I'm a preacher. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. I know there's different levels to this thing. I didn't want to call you the wrong thing or whatever, you know? And then you got Johnny, I mean, the life of a serial killer mixed in with being a dad. How does that work? Chris, he's not just a dad, he's a stepdad too. Like, we've all got our own different experiences here. So
Yeah.
I'm just curious though. Everybody's had this moment in their life, but not everybody's been in the same situation. So the first time your significant other or your ex-wife or the girl that you woke up next to that day said, you're going to be a dad, what was your reactions?
Oh, who do you want to start with?
We'll start with Chris and we'll work our way around. We'll just work clockwise. We'll go clockwise here.
So Chris, Tevin, and me.
Yeah, Chris, Tevin, you Ken. Or Chris,
Okay.
Ken, you Tevin. Whatever.
Okay, well, seeing how they want me to go first, yeah. I really wish I was making this up, and I'm not. My better half, and thank God she's out of the house right now and can't hear this, was really moody for like a week. I mean, like, well above and beyond. You're checking the calendar for Shark Week. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm like,
There's another first for a beard stream.
yeah,
There you
and I'm
go.
like,
Hey.
what the heck?
So goes in
And then
with
she
it.
just gives me this look. She goes, well, I have to take a friend of ours to the store. I'll be back. Okay. You know, you're like backing away slow. I remember watching videos on a laptop, and she goes, go in the bathroom. You got to look at something. And I went, what? You know, did my kid take a crap? I don't care. I walk in, and there's the pregnancy stick telling me she's pregnant. And she goes, guess what? I'm pregnant. I'm keeping it. Deal with it. And walk downstairs. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's how I found out.
Oh, sorry.
Sounds like an interesting day.
You think?
How were you feeling in that moment? Like, well, I mean, not that moment exactly. Give me like 10 minutes after that, after you had processed everything.
I don't remember much because I grabbed a bottle of Jameson's and just drank the night away.
There you go.
I sat
That
there
kind of tells
like,
me how you were feeling too.
oh my God, what the heck? I'm old. I'm going to be like 60 when this kid moves out of the house. You know, what? You know, I'm like, really? Because I've gone through my whole life and I've never had a child until Brianna. I never had a pregnancy scare, never had anything. Because I'll be honest, I thought the boys weren't working and I was destined to never have a child
Okay.
of my own.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that's
All right.
yeah. See, so that's your miracle baby then.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Pretty
So
much.
tell me, how old are you again,
it's
Tevin?
Say again?
How old are you again, Tevin?
Oh, I'm 26.
26. You're a preacher. How many kids do you have?
I have 2.
Yeah. See, in my world, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
What, 26 and 2 kids? Or
26, 2 kids, preacher. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just the way I was brought up, but I didn't think preachers were allowed to do that stuff.
you were raised Catholic, weren't you?
Some
Yeah.
preachers, yeah, Catholic
why.
priests are not allowed to. Yeah,
That's why.
Yeah.
Catholic priests have to be celibate.
Yep.
Okay.
And the nuns are married to Jesus or married to God.
Married
or-
to
So,
Jesus.
Kevin, are you like high school sweetheart status? Like, are you still with
Yeah.
the girl you've been with?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice.
That's good. How old are you?
He just told you.
I know. How old are you?
I'm 26.
All right, dude. When you get past 29, I'll be like, you did great, buddy. You did great. At
Okay.
26, I was still with mine and happy too. And now I'm 36, and if I could, I'd throw underneath a bridge. Like, And she's probably going to watch this later because she hates the Chronicles of the Bearded Dad because I air out all of our old laundry. So
Oh, and you got
she
the
doesn't like
title as the Chronicles. Oh, okay, all right.
yeah, she's going to watch
on
this
her-
later to see
she's
if I was
gonna get
talking
an
about
email
it.
on it because she probably has a search like ready for Google to like search Chronicles of Bearded Dad, and it sends an email. You could do that with Google. You know that?
Yes,
Do that, and so
she hates me. She hates this series. So Tevin, all right,
tell it like it is, whatever, man.
how old were you when your first was born?
Okay, so I was 22.
What was that feeling? Because that's young, dude. I know that feeling. I was around 22, 23 when my daughter was born.
It's a scary moment. I mean, I found out we were having the day that my wife told me we were having a baby, I was 21. I was still living with my parents. She was still living with her parents. I was in college and I worked at a grocery store for $7.25 an hour. So
Right.
I was freaking out because I've never, the most thing I was worried about was changing a diaper because I've heard about what, kids can do to those diapers. And that's what I was mostly afraid of. But
not a
just
joke.
the other things of how am I going to provide for this child?
Yeah.
Like all these thoughts were running through my head, and I ended up dropping out of college because in order to support my family, I quit the $7.25 an hour job. I got a factory job, and I made her finish college. And it's because of that decision she's able to work at the hospital doing what she loves to do. Because what happened to
I couldn't even hold it back. I was trying to let you finish, and then I saw Dave's comment, and I was like, okay.
Tevin, you said Dave gave you that haircut, right?
Dave, no.
Yeah, you went all the way to. Remember, you said you went to Florida.
You said you went all the way to Florida to get that professional haircut by Dave there.
Tevin, I
Sure.
thought you were
I'll blame it on Dave for right now. But I like it. I don't care what y'all say about it. I like it.
It looks good, brother. It looks good.
Yeah, let's
But-
I'm jealous because I can't grow it. So
But what was I
Exactly.
saying?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I literally dropped out of college because I looked at there was no way I would have looked good.
Like,
But
Now, Tevin,
All right.
get ready for Monday. Get ready for Monday. You insulted his barber skills. We know what's coming.
Tevin, continue your story, please, because that was too funny. I'm sorry. I'm good now. Go ahead.
But anyway, yeah, I mean, I made the difficult decision, even though I didn't want to, drop out of college because I wasn't exactly close, but it was something I wanted to do. But now that she graduated, she's at her hospital job working, and she is completely happy. It's my turn to finish college.
Right, and that's the way it's supposed to be. You guys are supposed to back each other up and support each other, and that's the way it's supposed to be. Ken, sir, how old were you when you had your first?
So when my son was born, I was, I think, 23 or 24.
Oh, man, we all did it around the same age. Like, what the
Something
hell?
like that, yeah.
Nobody learns. Like, nobody learns nothing. Like, and in your reaction, sir?
So, I mean, my story's not that grand. I mean, it was planned, so,
Okay. See, that's a reaction, though. That's a different situation. Okay?
yeah. And then, so I also have 2 stepchildren, which nobody really knows they're my stepkids, because we are just as close as me and my biological son.
Right,
from
and that's the way it's
from the day
supposed
that
to
I
be.
met them. Yeah, from the day that I met them, they were my kids. So,
All right, so I was just around the same age. I was 23 years old. Sam's going to be 13. I'm 36. Yeah, damn it. I said it. It's true. I got to live with it. And I was actually out. I was recovering. If you guys can actually see it, there's a scar right here on my tattoo. They found a tumor at the time that was wrapping around my arm, and I had to go have that removed. So I was home on painkillers for a couple weeks. And apparently one night, whoops, or maybe it was right before that even, and I woke up the one morning and my ex is sitting there jumping up and down in front of me, holding the stick in her hand. And God love me, the first thing that went through my mind is, you peed on that stick, put it down. That was the first thing that went through my mind was, you peed on that stick, don't point it at me, what's wrong with you? But my life, I had spent taking care of my little brothers and sisters most of the time. I wasn't too worried about raising a kid, that actual aspect. My concern was more like what Tevin said, the financial end of things. I was working in a printing factory making $7.85 an hour at that point. Not exactly the kind of money you want to raise a kid on. So those were my major concerns going into the whole thing. And I had changed diapers before, so I wasn't too worried about that one. Although the diaper stories are true, dude. They're true. First night Sam came home from the hospital, Ryan took the diaper off, and Sam exorcised out the other end all over the wall. Just everywhere. Sam, I'm sorry if you're watching this, by the way. All over the wall. She just painted. We had just painted the wall, and she didn't like the color, apparently, because there it was. Anybody, I mean, Johnny, what was your experience like, my friend? How old were you, Johnny?
Let's see. My oldest is 6. I was 20. No, hold on. I don't remember. Let's see. I know that we just had we everything was planned. We got married. I was either 20, 29 or 30 when he actually was conceived. We were trying. We were really trying, and I was like, oh, okay, we got time. It's gonna take some time because usually, like, I don't know, like when people you hear stories of people trying for, months and years, and like they never get pregnant, and then they actually had to end up getting the in vitro thing. So like I thought like, oh, that's gonna be our case, like, but apparently, we got good genes because we got on the first shot, like it was like.
Wow.
Yeah, like we tried like literally for like a couple times, and then she took the pregnancy test, and she was like, "Oh, all right, we're pregnant now." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And that was pretty much. It was kind of like like, "Oh, okay." And then it was all planned, and it wasn't any it wasn't a crazy. The shock didn't really set in until like she went into labor.
Okay.
like I was like, oh, okay, because like I tend to do that. Like if something serious is happening. Who's talking?
So we've all been in that room, right? I don't know. Were you guys in the room?
Yes.
With everybody present for their child's actual?
Oh
birth?
yeah. Oh, I was in there. I was.
All right. So I was in that room, and it was like a normal room. I was on a sleeping couch and everything else, and all of a sudden they were like, "It's time," and it turned into like a torture chamber. With things hanging, and I'm like, what the hell just happened in here? This was a perfectly normal room 2 minutes ago. But maybe that was just my experience because we were in the hospital for 6 days.
No, see, I was in an operating room because my better half had to do a C-section.
Okay.
So I was waiting in like the little whatever room, and that stupid little painter outfit and the little booties waiting to go in the room. And then like when I got in there, they're like, "You sit there." Yes, sir. And then you hear this like, I think it was 3 a.m. Brianna was born. It's like 3 o'clock, making an incision. Then you heard, "Holy hair!" And I'm like, what the? My daughter was born with a massive set of hair.
Okay.
It was just like slice, pop. Here you go. Here's your kid. Because the uterine wall, I think it is, was so paper thin. Because my better half has had a bunch, and it was just like slice. Here's your kid.
Oh well.
Wait a minute. What do you count as a bunch?
6.
That's a bunch.
I mean, that's about where my dad is.
Like a bunch of bananas.
How many has he made?
Bananas, there's like at least 6 of them in there.
Yeah, she's had 6. So
See, we didn't have Chris's worry or John's worry or Johnny's worry in my family. We knew my dad got women pregnant just by looking at them. So if we had any of his genes, we didn't have that worry in life.
The thing is, I never had a scare or anything like that in my life. So I was like, oh, same thing. Like I didn't think it was like a thing. Like I was like, we've been together for like, before getting married, we were together for like 8 years. So in all that time, 8 years of being together and living together and everything, we never had a pregnancy scare, like not even once, So I thought, oh, maybe there's something wrong. But then when we actually really tried, like when we put our A game into it, it was like baby.
Vinny, the only thing I wish is when I was there for mine, somebody would have told me after the baby comes out, look away.
You can't look away. I didn't look away.
you can't.
I didn't look away at all.
No.
Like, I didn't.
I
was
cord.
in there.
I wish I had looked away. Sam came out. My daughter was out. I should have just turned the other way at that point. I kept looking. The afterbirth is not pretty.
Yeah, I
That's
was
just a
there.
reality.
It's
You
not
know?
supposed to be pretty.
Yes, but in that moment, I was all like, "Oh, look, there's my kid." Like that.
See, I had
That was
something
the way
different.
that moment went. Now,
Dude,
We
Sam's beautiful, but when she comes out, she's like a little lizard dipped in 10W40, and everything is coming out right after her. You know?
yeah. See, we had a doula. I don't know if you guys ever had any of you had a doula.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a midwife,
yeah, midwife.
right? And
like a
she really,
spiritual midwife, though.
yeah,
right?
she really just explained to us like everything that you're gonna see, everything you're gonna go through, and like she's like gonna be there with you the whole time. And she was there. She was the one taking the pictures in the video. All I had to do was just tend to the wife and everything like that. So, it was just one of those kind of births. But like my wife would not give birth. Like we dilated centimeters, the maximum, everything. Even the doctor was like, "Oh, the baby's gonna come out any time," right? No, it was like fucking hours later, and they were like, "All right, if this baby doesn't come out, we're gonna have to cut you open." And then she was like, "Well, I'm gonna go home now," and I'm like, "You can't go home. You can't go home. Like the baby, we're in the hospital. The baby's coming. You can't just leave." And she goes, "No, we can go home. I can take this home." And I'm like, "No." She wanted to quit labor like halfway through. And we tried every position: the standing, walking around, squatting on the toilet, and then what finally made it work was that they brought out the birthing bar, which is a bar that is attached to the bed. They haven't used this bar in fucking years. They actually had to clean it because it was full of dust and everything. Nobody used this bar before, so they get the bar, and then the doula had this like wrap, this like really long cloth that. My wife wrapped around her fists, one in each hand, and they tied it around the bar, and she pulled with the bar while pushing at the same time, and then the head came right out like that. Doctor did the episiotomy, and my boy just went fell right out. It was an experience.
I love all the sound effects that went with that too. Like Johnny comes with his own sound effects and everything, man. Johnny comes ready.
It was a very unique experience, man.
So all you guys were all your, I mean, C-section, whatever, but did it all go as planned for everybody?
Yeah.
Any complications or anything with any of your situations?
When my better half got to the hospital for that last time, it was all good. But Brianna was, let's just say, a very complicated pregnancy. We had lots of false labor scares. And there was one point where, I'm kind of proud of it, but you look back at it, it was really stupid. When my better half's blood pressure kept spiking and everything kept going weird, they were like, if this continues, we're going to induce labor. And I was so happy to see my first child. I was walking around my better half going, boo, boo, boo. The nurse looked at me.
You didn't get punched in the mouth.
The nurse looked at me. She's like, do we have a problem? I'm like, F no, I want my kid. Get out, baby, get out.
Oh, no. The reason I asked is actually because Sam decided she was going to come almost 2 months early. And she wasn't going to be denied because we went to the hospital. They gave my ex medication to stop, the pregnancy. Went home. Next morning, she's sitting there holding her stomach. She's like, something's not right still. We go back, and she actually kept advancing even with the medicine in her. So now they hooked my ex up to like an IV with the medicine in her constantly because the doctor's telling us that if we go ahead and just say, the baby's coming, just do it. They're like, no, the baby's not going to make it. It's not fully developed yet. It's not ready. It's not this. It's not that. This went on for 6 days in the hospital to where I'm going to work, leaving work, going to the hospital, sleeping there, then getting up, going to work. Like, it was a complete nightmare until finally, after 6 days of this, my sister and a couple other people went to go see her, and they called me, and they're like, she's ready. The baby's coming. Like, it can't be any better for her if they keep pumping her full of drugs for the baby either. So it's kind of like a give and take here. So we just, at the end of it all, we actually had to sign a waiver and everything to go ahead and just have the pregnancy. And Sam came out and they flew a specialist in and everything because they thought she was going to have underdeveloped lungs and the whole nine. Yeah. And the specialist was there. They took Sam out. They checked her. And the specialist held the baby up and went, you could have done this one on your own, Virginia. She's fine. Handed the baby over and walked away. and then I grabbed the man and hugged him. That was the biggest like relief moment through the whole thing for me because I didn't know it was going to happen there.
Yeah,
that was scary.
That's the scary thing. Yeah, my wife was like, the baby's gonna stay in as long as possible, as long as it needs to. That's how she was. She was very like, she did the birth, no medication, no painkillers, not even an Advil or nothing. She just did it like a cave woman, straight up, you know. And that's because my wife's like a warrior woman, you know. I don't know. She just took all that pain and was like, that's the and she.
Hold
did
on,
it,
I'm sorry, Johnny. Imo, if you want to come in, if any of you guys can send Imo the link, there he is. Did somebody send him the link? Nope. Never mind. All right. If anybody wants Imo if you guys can send Imo the link, if he wants to come in, just share it with them real quick. Imo, you're more than welcome, brother.
I got you.
You got it? All right.
All right. So I'm sorry, Johnny. You were talking about your cave woman?
Yeah, she just like took that birth head on and was like, baby's gonna stay in as long as possible. We didn't go to the doctor until like, I think the doula we had, she was able to check to see how many centimeters dilated my wife was. So we didn't go to the hospital until like it was like, you know, she was fully dilated and the baby was about to start, you know, you come to the point of no return where you have to start pushing.
Right.
So like we didn't go to the hospital until we got to that point. The doula felt, and even still, like it still took, you know, extra time. My daughter, different story. My daughter, we didn't even make it to the car. You know, my wife walked out of the house in the driveway. The baby fell right out. Like, flat. I had to catch her. Yeah, I had to catch her.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was that was the whole. Yeah, that was another fucking experience. Yeah, so like, my wife's walking around the block and she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna."
Johnny, everybody tells me I need a camera for my life. You should be fucking recording 24/7, dude.
I was at work, and at this point, I worked like maybe 2 or 3 towns
away. I'm sorry. Did anybody else just see Tevin's face? The look on him right now is he's like, "Wait a minute." So your kid just kind of like fell, like literally fell out.
I'm gonna do this quick because I told the story so many times it's like infamous. Yeah, everyone knows this story. All my neighbors know it. Everybody was the fuck outside with the ambulances and the fire trucks and everything. So anyway, so like I'm at work. My wife called me. She goes, "I think I'm going into labor." I'm like, "All right." She goes, "I'm gonna take a walk around the block because I remember the first kid. It took a long time. Whatever. I want to get things going." All right, fine, perfectly fine. So I'm like, "You need me to go home?" She goes, No, stay at work. Don't worry about it. You know, whatever. I'm like, "Okay, fine." So, you know, I do my regular shift. I leave work. I come home, and she's on the couch, and she's like, "Oh, this is a little different. I feel a little different." And I was like, "Okay." I said, "You know, did you did you walk and all that?" She goes, "Yeah." And then she goes, "I think it's time to go to the hospital." It's like as soon as I came home, I was like, "Okay, cool." We called the same doula up. The lady, she lived in Pennsylvania, so it took her an hour. It took her like 40 minutes to get to us from where she lived. So we called the lady. She's on her way. Then my wife is like, "We got to go like right the fuck now." And I'm like, "Okay." So we're walking. As we're walking I'm packing the car. She's walking to the car. Our friend, thank God, came just in time to watch my son. Because remember, my son is he's like 2 years old now. He's in his bed sleeping, and so. She came in to watch him while we were going to the hospital. She rolls up. She's also a nurse. My wife is a nurse. They're co-workers. So she comes up. My wife is walking to the car, and she's like, "Nope, baby's coming right now. Like baby's. She's coming right now. There's no stopping her. She's coming." So I'm like, "Oh my God!" So my friend, she yanks down her pants. She's looking at her. She's like, "Okay, we need a shirt." Take off my shirt. Hand it to the nurse. To our friend, and I'm standing there, and she's like, "Okay, you hold this one end of the shirt, I hold the other end of the shirt, and we'll form like a basket around her, you know, because we don't know which way the baby's gonna flop out. We have no idea, you know."
They made a baby trampoline. Oh my God!
Yeah,
your kid's first experience in the world is like, look at me, I'm dumping Dad.
and this is like in February. It's cold as hell outside. It's like winter time, you know. Like so, they're like I'm holding my shirt. I'm there shirtless with 911 on my arm like this, and I'm like, "Baby's coming out. You guys, I don't see any cop cars or ambulance or nothing." And I'm like yelling at the guy. He's like, "Well, walk me through what's happening now." I'm like, "Well, the head is out and she's about to fall onto the driveway. So is there any way we can speed up the ambulance?" So like, so then like, you know, we have this like ring, and like my shirt is there, and she just fell right out, and she fell into my arm, and then like kind of like bounced off into my other arm with our friend's hands like right there under her butt. So like we caught her, with like this like crazy catch. And so I gave her to our friend. She wrapped her up in my shirt, and we're holding everything there together because like it looked like someone like just like basically gutted someone in my driveway. My entire driveway was full of viscera and just guts, and it was just disgusting. So like, so it looked like a horrible murder scene, like a botched murder scene.
Thank you. He finally said it. I'm like, is anyone surprised his driveway looked like there was guts everywhere?
Oh, it was awful. It was like it was the worst thing ever. I mean, clothes got ruined. It was bad. So then, like, finally, like 3 ambulances, two fire trucks, and a whole like armada of cop cars are around our entire house. So every neighbor, naturally, because we live like, you look at the neighbor's house and you can like spit at their front door. That's how close our houses are together. Everybody's outside looking, and they're all looking, and they're like, "Congratulations!" And I'm like, I'm all covered in blood and shit. Like, then they roll to the hospital, and I'm driving our car to the hospital, and I'm shaking to death because like that was the most terrifying experience in my life. And I'm on the phone with my mom, and I'm like, yeah, the baby just fell out like in the driveway. We had to catch her. She's like, no way, yeah. And so yeah, that was my wife's second birth. That was our daughter. That's why my daughter's crazy, because she came out crazy.
Yeah, that's the only reason, right, Johnny? Okay.
Mr. Dragon, you were right, sir. No, I couldn't imagine giving birth. Are you kidding me? Exactly. I'm sorry.
Yo.
Us men are big-ass babies, and I'm willing to admit that shit. I get a friggin' cold, and I want to be left alone, wrapped in a blanket, and somebody needs to bring me some soup and, lots of fresh cups of ice for my soda when I want it. But I don't want to get out of my bed. I could not imagine giving birth. No, I'm good.
I've told my wife many times that even around that one time of the month, if that happened to me, I'd be in the ER every month, scared to death.
Shark Week.
I just got yelled at.
What, you got yelled at?
Yeah.
She was sharing that story?
She was like, it was a lot more work for me than it was for you. And I'm like,
I'm sure you're right, Mrs. Grooms.
I'm just sharing my experience with it. I mean, like,
we agree with you, Mrs. Grooms. You're absolutely right. It was
if
definitely...
you want to come down and explain it, don't forget it.
Johnny, I don't know if you want to piss off your wife, sir. I don't know,
She's upstairs.
Oh, wait, I think Emo's here. There we go.
Hey,
there
he
the
is.
legend is here. Emo, my brother.
Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, hi. What's up, everybody?
Hey, what's up?
What's going on, brother?
Oh, not much. I was just listening to all the stories that you guys were telling over here about your wives and whatnot. I was like, I have a pretty good story. I need to jump in here and let the people know about it.
The floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, so let me see. Where do I begin? Well, I was with my wife 3 years prior to us getting hitched, getting married. And for that whole time, we've been trying to have a child. And finally, after we had gotten married in 2015, we were actively trying to get pregnant. And it just wasn't happening. So we went to go see a doctor. And the doctor said that, she has a lot of issues that needed to be fixed. And we just had to do it. We did a procedure called IVF. I don't know if you guys know about it.
In vitro.
Or not. Yeah, in vitro. So that's what we ended up doing. And at the time, how old is she now? She is almost 4 and I'm 41. So at the time I was around 36, 37 and she was 35. So we went and did that. Oh, also, the trying period, guys, when you're really trying to have a child and it's not happening, it gets tiring, right, guys?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sex is not fun anymore. It's not.
No, it becomes
fun.
like a chore at that point.
Yes, exactly. It becomes a chore.
It
exactly.
becomes a chore. It's like,
you walk in the door and they got like a calendar out and they're like, all right, we got 20 minutes. Go in there and get ready. And we're having sex. And you're like, I kind of just wanted to veg out and watch some TV for a little while. I don't care. I don't need you to pay attention.
It's not
Just
your
get in there
parts
and get
anymore.
ready.
No. That's the
I'm
most
not a
fun you
piece of
have.
meat. Thank
Joe,
you.
that's the most fun you ever have at failing. Oh, damn. Didn't work. Let's go again.
My gosh, it just became so tedious and so cumbersome. It was like, okay, I'm ovulating, let's go. Or I think I'm ovulating, let's go. You're like in there, okay, okay, am I done yet? Okay, I'm done. All right. But
What is it with everyone bringing their own sound effects?
Hey, it's all part of our storytelling.
exactly. But man, it was the most non-enjoyable time that I've had with my wife, and I don't ever want to repeat that like ever again.
Yeah, but do you guys realize we just saw live Emo's O-Face?
I'm turning.
Oh, man.
Oh goodness me!
Oh wow!
You okay
Another
there,
first.
Kevin?
Look at this, man. I set records in the beard world. Like, don't tell me I don't break records.
Kevin's looking away. Are you okay, buddy?
I'm also dealing with my son. As we're
Oh.
talking about parenting series, I'm dealing with my children.
Oh,
as I speak.
gotcha. Yeah,
So I'm having to mute the microphone every time I talk.
Oh, sorry, bro.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
So what ended up happening after that? We did a procedure, which is ridiculously expensive, man. I mean, the drugs are so expensive. Oh gosh, yeah. Whew. So what ended up happening that the first time the drugs didn't take, the pregnancy didn't take, and my wife was absolutely devastated with that because we really wanted a child, and there was a time where she cried a lot at night and was just very depressed, very unhappy with it all, and she was saying, why me? Is this a problem? What have I done? I've always done things right in my life. What is this all about? And I was like, you know what, babe? Let's give it a month or two of rest and then try again. So that's what we ended up doing. Surely enough, she got pregnant that way. Fast forward 9 months, hospital, waiting for her to have the child, being induced, stayed there for 14 hours at the hospital. Nothing was going on. We were like, okay, do we need to go home and come back? Or
Right.
We've been here 14 hours, nothing happened. So on the 15th hour, it was like, okay, we need to go cut her up right now. And we were just like, oh, whoa, what? Now, like this minute, we need to go right now? Like, yeah. So they haul her away. They take me away. I change my clothes really, really fast, run in that room. She gets put on that stretcher deal things where they have their arms like this side, and she's just all exposed. So I saw the cutting because I was watching the whole thing when I was in there. Mm-hmm. I saw the incision, and I saw the doctor's hands go inside of her. Then all of these bells started to go off. All these beeps started to go off everywhere. Beep, beep, beep. So what had happened with Ava is that she was facing sunny side down, and she had the cord wrapped around her head, her neck, and her face was turning blue.
Ooh.
And sorry, guys, I'm getting a little,
No, yeah, you're good.
flustered
You're
with
good.
it. It was the most afraid I've ever been in my lifetime. I was so afraid, like, after all this work that we did, and our child is going to die over here with this thing on her neck. But thankfully enough, she was born sunny side up, cord around her neck, and the cord had 3 knots on it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
The cord had 3 knots on it. I was very, very afraid for her life. I was very afraid what was going to happen to our marriage if something went wrong with this birth. So, I was just really afraid. But then I heard her little, tiny, squeaky little voice. She had like the cutest, tiny, squeakiest cry. It was like, I heard it and I was like, oh my gosh, she's crying. And I started crying, and I took her in my arms with all that goo all over her, all the nastiness. I just took her and put her next to my face, and I was like, I love you, kiddo. You are what we've always wanted. And she was just, I don't know, guys. It was a very special moment. And so she got all cleaned up. And to top it all off, we took the placenta home, dried it out, grinded it, and both the wife and I drank it. So there you have it. Are you guys okay? You guys are looking at your face.
Some people do that. Some people
Your
eat it.
faces are like, what?
You drank it. Some people eat it.
We
So,
drank
yeah.
it. We drank
some
it,
people
dried
eat
it
it.
out.
Do you
You know?
realize the only person on this panel other than yourself who's like right on is the frickin' vegan? Well, sorry, wrong way. Whatever, the vegan over there.
No, because I know that's a thing. I know people do that. You know,
It is a thing. It is a
Yeah,
thing.
I know,
We did
I
it.
know.
Yeah.
You go through all that shock, you go through all that worry about I just lost her. Then hey, baby, we're eating your house. All right.
Yeah, we sure did. We drank
but
it,
I-
and it was good too.
I mean, drinking that, whatever, that was your call. But I can understand that fear that you said you were going through, though, sir.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
when Sam came out, she wasn't making any noise at first. So, and with the way they had said, like if we went through with the pregnancy early, that she wasn't going to make it, that 5 to 10 seconds felt like an hour
Yeah.
of me
really,
waiting for that
for
doctor
real.
to turn to me and say she's fine, because Sam never started crying. She didn't make a noise. Nothing. But the doctor turned and said, you could have done this on your own. She's fine. And Sam still just stayed there quiet. Like, I was like, isn't she supposed to cry or something? And they were like, not all of them. And she seems perfectly happy with the fact that she's out here now. And she didn't make a noise, but for those 5 to 10 seconds, it felt like hours in my life.
Yeah.
Just waiting for them to
Oh,
say, she's okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I didn't care about anything else in that moment. I just wanted to hear the words, she's okay, she's healthy, and I would have been fine at that moment. I think the doctors know that too, and they mess with you a little bit, but that's besides the point.
Joe.
So
Oh,
when was the first time you guys got left home alone with your kid? Because, you know, it's a new experience for all of us. So when was the first time you were home alone with your child? And was it during diaper days?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like you're all nodding your head yes.
Yeah.
Time out.
Yes.
Time out.
Yeah.
You're all nodding your head yes. Ask yourself this question. Could your father have made that answer as quick?
Hell no.
No,
dad,
thank
yeah.
you.
Not my
Not
dad.
all of them, no. Back in that generation,
No.
it wasn't done. My
Kidding me?
father was left home. True story here, okay? I love you, by the way. I'm sorry. I'm not talking shit. God rest you.
He's about to get smacked upside the head. Watch. You're gonna see his
My
head.
father was left home alone with me,
He's gonna
okay?
fall down the stairs.
My grandmother wasn't home. My mom wasn't home. Nobody. And I shit right in my diaper. I took a shit. He picked me up, held me out like that, and ran me across the street to the neighbors. Knocked
You're
on the
kidding.
door and said, "Ruth, I need you to do something with him."
He ran you to the neighbors to get your diaper changed.
Yes, sir.
Oh, what?
And I promise you this: my father and Chris, I'm not lying here, am I? My father's got more kids than most goddamn orphanages. Okay.
Joe,
He didn't change a shitty diaper until his grandchild.
Whoa.
I called Joe's dad's car the mommy maker. Just saying.
Just saying. The man was a genius, okay? Anytime there was shit in the diaper, he found a way to get out of that shit. Literally.
My dad just fled the country, so that's how he got out of it.
But the question was posed to you, gentlemen. How did you deal with that first diaper?
I didn't. No, the first week I didn't touch diapers. I dealt with the other two while mommy had fun with the brand new one. I was not on diaper duty for like, I'd say a good month. But that first one, ooh, it's like she was saving it for me and giggled at me the whole time. Gotcha, Dad. That's right. You thought you got away with this. Ha ha! And you're like, why is it Technicolor? What the No.
Yeah, it's a weird color when they first come home. It's that
The first
chromium.
couple-
It's
It's
that
like
it's that
tar.
tar color. Yeah, it's that
Yeah,
that
black
first
tar
couple are
color.
tar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But after a
Uh-huh.
month, I was like, why does it look like a Skittle thing exploded in her butt? What's going on?
Gotta get all that sludge out or something like that. It's weird.
Oh.
But yeah, my first diaper wasn't that bad. I mean, I did it in the hospital. Like the nurse, like 'cause I never changed a diaper before, so the nurse was like, "Let me show you how to do this," and I was like, "Okay, great." So she walked me through the very first diaper. I did it at the hospital. So when we got home, then I had to reteach myself how to use cloth diapers because my wife was really into cloth diapering. So that's how we did it.
No.
Which was a great money saver because we bought about like 200 cloth diapers and we didn't spend diaper money for my first child or my second child because we
There you
just
go.
kept we saved. So we saved. We never bought diapers. We did one shopping of diapers, and that was it for my first child, and that was it. So when I got home to learn how to do the cloth diaper, that was different because there's like, little straps that you have to use instead of the clothespins and stuff like that, and having to rig a sprayer on the toilet to spray all the stuff off of the diaper into the toilet and then flush it, and then to pre-wash it and then to wash it. Like, yeah, it was an experience. I had to learn how to do all that. So,
Kevin, are
but
you okay?
we saved a ton of money. We saved
I
a
just
ton of money.
visualized it. And I wanted to,
What, you don't wipe your own butt? You don't clean your own shit? Like,
they're spraying the crap out of the diaper.
it's not that bad. Yeah, it's not that bad.
I know it's
There were a
just
few
child
times-
poop, dude. It's not
Yeah.
it's not bad at all.
It's
It's not that
poop.
bad. Yeah,
It's not
that.
just child poop. It's poop. I don't care.
I mean,
if
there
it's animal crap, if it's my crap.
let me tell you, there were some times where like the baby went right into the tub and everything went into the garbage. I didn't care about cleaning up. I said, look, I'll buy another cloth diaper. I'm not cleaning this up. And I literally threw the whole thing into the garbage and the baby went right into the tub. That's how, that's how I handled the poop explosions is what I used to call it. Where it was like a shit ton,
The
so
poop Nami, that
Yeah,
wave that just keeps
yeah.
going. Yeah.
I threw the whole thing out, put the baby in the wash in the little basin or whatever.
Thank
and
you.
then-
I'm glad you specified that, Johnny. You're like, I threw the baby in the wash. I'm like,
Yeah, just
what
head
cycle?
first.
Did you put fabric softener in there too?
Yeah,
What cycle?
and a dryer sheet just to make sure that she smelled nice. No, yeah, and everything just right to the garbage, right to the dumpster. Didn't even care. Didn't even worry about it. And then, yeah, did you buy like?
Oh, hey, there you go.
It was like $20 for, I think, 30 bamboo inserts that you put into the cloth shell, and it's a lot different than like how it used to be. You used to get a service. You used to pay for a service. They used to come pick up the cloth diapers or whatever. But we did it all at home. We saved a ton of money. I'm telling you, we saved so much money.
Nope.
No formula, no diapers for 2 baby births. I
Here's
mean,
the problem.
forget about it,
Here's the
man.
problem, sir. With the cloth diapers, you're literally knee deep in shit all the time. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, but shit. I mean, come on, man.
Disposable diapers, it's lift, wipe, clean,
Yeah,
wrap everything up, throw it away.
Yeah, that's the lazy way. Come on.
No, it's not. It's the way it was intended to be.
Oh, don't get mad because you all did it and I didn't.
Whatever, pioneer Johnny. Okay, look, just
Hey.
because you want to live like a colonial doesn't mean us have to, all right?
we saved enough. We have a lot now because we didn't buy diapers.
Thank you.
last-
There you go. Poop isn't poop. That's BS. Baby poop is on a whole other level, and they're absolutely right. Okay, we've all seen it, man. Like straight 8 beer. Like Rob said, that spicy brown mustard. We've all seen those ones where you're like, I didn't feed you peas. What the hell is going on here?
Right?
You've had nothing that looks this color. Why is it this color?
How many leaky diapers have you guys had to experience?
Too many.
Yeah, too many, right?
Oh,
I can count on my
too
hand how
many.
many leaky cloth diapers
Too
I had
many.
to change. That's how little I had leaky cloth diapers. I had that shit down to a science. The folding, the
Literally.
wrapping, the pinning.
Yeah.
Those diapers were sealed, secure. Like they didn't leak out. It was only a few times where like maybe I messed up on the fold a little bit, but yeah, those disposables they don't hold back the tidal wave, man.
I didn't care about the leaky. I cared more about the blowing up the backside whenever they went, you know?
Yeah,
all
You know,
the
pick
back
up your
up to the
kid.
neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Oh, yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
God.
I've seen that.
Kevin,
shit.
Yeah.
Tevin, what was your first diaper like, my friend?
First
Not-
dirty diaper.
Kevin, not yours. Your child's, not yours.
Okay. Glad we specified. Okay, so gladly specified. So the first time, and this was the first time my wife left me home with the child alone.
Okay.
She went out shopping with friends, and me and my son were just laying on the couch taking a nap. He was beside me, and I woke up. I don't know why I woke up, but I look at my son just in time to hear, like him completely destroy his diaper. Him completely destroy his diaper. I'm like, okay. And this is my first dirty diaper. I've changed pee diapers. I had no problem with it. Every single time he pooped, I would always give them to my wife.
Devin.
Not because I didn't want to change it, but then again, I also didn't want to change it.
Devin, you're absolutely right, son. That's exactly what this should be.
So, the first mistake that I made when I became a parent was that I changed my son with him facing this way, with his butt facing my chest. That was my first mistake, because as soon as I started to change his diaper, I got done wiping everything. He poops, and it goes it was like a explosion of poop. It went all over my chest, and I'm freaking out. Like, I am screaming like a little girl. I'm not reenacting it, but just picture me screaming like a little girl.
Oh no.
I take off my shirt, I take off my pants, and somehow it got on my pants. I don't know how that happened. So I take his clothes off, and I leave him in the living room. Like, you could see, like, in there. I left him in there, and take our clothes. I put him in the laundry, and then I hear him screaming. Like, I hear my child screaming. And so I go back in, and I see him in time, peeing in his own face. Like, he's arcing, peeing in his own face. I'm like,
They do that.
So I take him upstairs. That's where the bathtub is. That's where all his bath stuff was. And he was pooping. Like, I'm holding him out, and he was pooping, like, on the stairs. And I'm almost like, this can't get any worse. So I give him a bath. I put him in clothes. I put myself in new clothes. 10 minutes later, completely destroys the diaper again.
What did he eat?
I didn't learn from my mistake. He was facing this way again. So I'm sitting there trying to, like, trying to play like peekaboo, or trying to make sure that if it happens again, I can stop it. Well, I didn't stop it. He did it again. He pooped all over my chest. Like, and this time I just sit in the floor. Like, I'm done. I sit in the floor, and he doesn't have a diaper on, so he proceeds to pee in his face again. And then that's when I call my wife, like, I can't do this.
What did you feed him?
And she had to come in. I had a mental breakdown.
You gave him something. You gave him you caused that. You gave him something to make his stomach get all jacked up like that.
Oh my God. I can't.
That's awful.
Joe's crying.
Oh,
my
I'm
God.
sweating.
I was crying too, but I wasn't laughing.
Oh my God.
Oh,
God. Ken, I hope your first diaper experience wasn't that bad.
I mean, I don't have any cool stories like you guys. All
Yeah,
my
okay, that's good though. That's a good thing. It means you had a normal diaper.
Here's the diaper story that I'll give you, okay? So my kids have all been, we've been really, I guess, blessed and lucky. All of our kids have been really easy. My two youngest, when I met them, because they were my stepkids, when I met them, the youngest was in pull-ups, and he came out of those, went to bed, no big deal. Never had an accident. My daughter, same thing. My son, no issues either. The funniest story that I got about my son is we were at a doctor's office, and he was still wearing diapers. And this is Matt, the hair guy that's in here right now. He's going to love this. And he knows the story. We're in the doctor's office, and the doctor that we had at the time, this guy's like 6.5 feet tall, 7 feet tall, I don't know. Long hair, a booming voice. He was a nice guy. So he walks in the room. My son is sitting on my lap. He's in a diaper, and he's nothing else because they're doing a checkup, right? And the doctor walks in the door. My son looks up, and the next thing, his face just turns like white, and he craps all over me. Up the back, like they were talking about, right?
Yeah, those are just.
Yeah, that's really the worst diaper story that I've got. That's it.
Lucky. My son was king pooper. Like, he had some crats I didn't think was possible.
I can't, dude. I'm gonna save the stream, and every time I'm in a bad mood, I'm just gonna replay Tevin's story, and it's gonna brighten up my day. That's
Tevin, man. Try having a couple in diapers at once, because I had Amber and Brianna both in diapers. So I changed one, the other one craps. Get that one changed. The other one got mad because the other one crap. So that one crap because she was upset. It was like a back and forth. I'm like, why? What did I do to you guys?
I think I'm done having kids. I swear, I can't go through it again.
Wow, Dad. There he is. Yep. He's like, wow, Dad, really? Was that necessary? Did we have to share that story, Dad?
It's literally the only diaper story I've got, dude. Sorry.
I've got a great one that proves how much.
Matt, when you go to therapy, remember this moment and pull it up for your counselor. That's all I'm saying.
But at the same time, you know what? Ken had to go through it. You know,
yeah, Ken has to let it
he
out
was the
too.
happy baby pooping. Ken had to do all the hard work and
That's like
clean
the
up.
lamest diaper story ever on this panel. Yeah, well, he
Sorry,
crapped
what
it
do you
all.
want, man? Sorry.
I've got a diaper story that proves how much my daughter has always loved me, and that I've always been her favorite. That's what I've got.
Then spill it.
The first time I was ever left home alone with Sam, because back when we first brought Sam home, we were still what I guess you call your old school style family, right? I went to work. My ex stayed home, took care of Sam. And the one day I got home and she's like, hey, I want to go get my nails done and all that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. Go, give me my kid. Get out of here, right? So I spend the whole day with Sam, the whole night with Sam, actually, and she doesn't shit once. Not one time. Right? I'm not too worried about it because, like I said, I've been taking care of my brothers and sisters. I've been changing diapers since I was 12. I'm good. So my ex comes home. It's like 9 o'clock. I'm like, all right, you got her because I'm going to go get in the shower and stuff. And she's like, yeah. I go down the stairs, get in the shower. I'm walking back up the stairs. The door flings open. My ex comes running out. She's got stuff on her shoulders. She's got stuff on her shirt. She's like, I need you now. I need your help. And I'm like, yeah, I think I left the water running. But I was like, all right. I walk in. Sam apparently went to the bathroom. She's changing her. And as she was in the process of changing her and cleaning it up, Sam decided she wasn't done. Tevin can relate to this story, apparently. And Sam went full exorcist mode. Yeah. She splattered the walls. Yeah. She splattered the changing table. She got a little bit of the crib, and she got a whole lot of my ex.
Anyone notice his smile? Anyone notice him smiling?
And I was like, man, thank you, Sam. I love you too, because 10 minutes earlier, and that had been me. So it just proves my daughter has always loved me and always preferred that daddy's okay. And I appreciate that. Wait, Immo's back. Hold on, let me get Immo back in here.
There he is.
There we go.
There's Immo.
Hi, guys. I couldn't hear anything there for a minute. Oh. I really couldn't hear you guys, though. It was just a bunch of blah, 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 blah. I couldn't hear anything.
That was just Joe. Don't worry, Immo.
Can you guys hear me?
I appreciate it. Yeah, we got you.
We got you, Immo.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Okay. I can hear Johnny, and I can hear you. No,
Chris is just messing with you.
You got me?
You got me?
Yeah, I can hear Ken also, but Tevin is very choppy. He's just like what robot voice. So I couldn't.
People
really
don't pay attention much, do they? Not you, Immo. I'm talking about the people on Instagram who are all sending me people's lives to go and jump in it.
Voice too. So.
Yeah, it's weird, right? Like you're live already, and they're gonna send you other lives to watch.
And some of the people are in here right now, and they're sending me live things like, "Hey, go watch so and so before it ends." Dude, I'm
Tevin,
kind of.
He just giggled, Tevin.
I'm kind of in a live. Tevin, don't do it, Tevin.
I'm in here with you, beardos.
All right, Chris. Ken.
Well, guys, since I can't really hear you much, I'm going to sign off here to be in the chat room and talk to you guys that way.
Love you, Immo. Love you, Immo.
See you, bro.
Thank you so much for joining us, Immo, brother.
Guys, thank you. it was a good time, definitely.
I mean, Tevin's story was worth the price of admission easily.
Listen, I
Emo
never want to go
face.
through that
That's
ever again.
Tevin, listen, I'm telling you, and I can say this with full confidence. If it had happened 10 minutes earlier and it was me instead of my ex, I would have been scarred for life. Because she literally she was covered in shit. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Dogma with the shit demon.
Yeah.
That's what this looked like. It was bad.
Wow.
It was bad. And if it had been me, I don't know. I don't know if I could have done that one.
Dude, I've already said if I'm ever blessed with grandkids, screw that. I'm not changing diapers. They
They'd
shit
just-
themselves. They'll be waiting for you when you pick them up.
They'd have
Wrapped
just
in a
found
hefty
me.
bag, you know.
They'd have just found me in a corner, kind of rocking back and forth, like she's over there. She's over there. Just over there.
You know, it
That
was
was me when my wife came home.
the scariest thing was that for me, I don't know why, but the umbilical cord frightened me, and like when it fell off, I asked my wife, I was like, "Is it supposed to look like that? Like, is it okay? Is it like I was really freaked out about the umbilical cord, the little piece that's left over that's supposed to fall off."
Yeah, it's dry up, shrivel off, and
Yeah, I got because it looked weird. There was like some coloring happening. I was like, "Is it infected? Do we have to go to the hospital?" Like, I was freaking out. She's like, "It's fine. Like, I'm a nurse. It's fine. Calm down." Da, da, da. I was like, okay. But I was always
Johnny,
checking it. I was always worried about it.
You're a vegan, like you've never seen a shriveled up banana peel before. Come on.
No, but like I was like, I don't know, it's attached to the baby and shit. I have no idea. First one,
All right.
too. I had no idea.
I have a question for, I'm guessing, only Ken and Chris right now, because I think there are only stepdads in the room, correct?
I believe
Yeah.
so.
I'm not.
All right. So my question is, now I come from a step family, I guess, whatever, half brothers, half sisters, stepmom, but we were never raised that we were step anything. You know what I mean? Like that was never something that was like even really said all that much. Other than like for me, when I'd have to be like, that's my mom. And then if my stepmom was there too, I'd have to be like, that's my mom, that's my stepmom, to explain to everyone who they were.
Right.
But what's it like actually raising little tiny, they're kids still, but they're not yours, but they're like, you get what I'm trying to say here?
I know exactly what you're going
Yeah.
for. I know exactly. You want to go first, Ken?
Yeah, sure. I'll take it. So, in our case, exactly what you're saying, that they're not mine, but they are. I mean, legally, sure, but that's about where that stops for us. When we introduce ourselves to people, we introduce our kids or whatever. It's, hey, I'm her dad. I'm his dad.
Right.
We only say the words stepdad or stepkids if we have to explain something or
Right.
whatever. And as far as our family goes, so I don't know if we're unique or not. Me and my wife met in the Army, right? So, and we've been friends ever since. We did not get married right away. We didn't get married until 12 years later, 13 years later, something like that. So in the meantime, we each had our own lives after the Army. She had kids with somebody. I had a son with somebody. But we stayed friends, right? We're friends on Facebook. So I pretty much watched my two youngest, my stepkids, grow up that way. So when me and her actually got together and decided to get married, I had seen the kids grow up, so it was not really a thing. It was just meeting them was kind of a formality at that point. And ever since then, they're my kids, man. Me and my daughter. You guys have probably seen her. She did a video with me. If you watched my beard butter video, she's my little girl, and she has been since the day that I walked into her mom's apartment. And Mason, the same thing. He's my little boy just as much as my Matt in here is my son. So for us, it's really no different for us.
Why do I always got to be the one with the weird stories? Okay, here we go.
Sorry, man. I have no weird stories.
That's why I wanted to wait. Honestly, there was a plan behind this whole grouping of individuals that have shown up here. And my thought process was that me, Johnny, and Chris are pretty whacked, and our stories aren't going to be normal. But Ken and Tevin hopefully can show some normalcy on the show at least. Maybe. That was the hope here.
We're shooting for Ken at this point, so. All right, here you go. I met my better half when she got me out of a really, really bad situation in Spokane Valley. The day I met my better half is the day I met my daughter, Amber. Amber was like 2 months old, and I was the only male figure she had known. Thank you.
Oh man, did you get McDonald's?
Yes, I did.
Oh.
Because I did a mobile order, and man,
Okay.
that curbside
Hold on.
pickup is awesome.
Okay, great. I'm live.
I know.
Okay. You
Oh.
normally don't like to be in the room.
Hey, can you ask her to drop me off some McDonald's?
Because we went to
No,
McDonald's
I don't like you that much.
Come on, man, I'm
in
hungry.
Burlington, they have curbside pickup. Awesome.
Okay, great. Can I get back to this?
Yes.
Thank you.
I got food downstairs, man. I got my Carl's Jr.
Yeah.
Welcome to my world.
You're all good, bro. Good.
But like I said, I met Amber when she was 2 months old, and we bonded like instantly. From Spokane Valley to Portland, it's like a 6-7 hour car ride, and the whole time Amber reached her hand out and held on like her hand onto my finger, and we bonded right away. But me and my son, no. I didn't let him call me dad for a very, very long time because he'd seen my better half with 2 other guys, and he called them daddy. So I never wanted him thinking everyone who dates mom is dad.
Okay.
And that changed later on when we had to move where we're currently at now. Well, in Skagit Valley, Washington. He walks in the room that we were staying in, and he goes, "Chris, I have a question for you." And I'm like, "All right, what, bud?" And he goes, "Will you be my dad?" And speaking of that, there is the monkey right now. What?
Yeah.
My new glasses.
Yeah, hey, I will see them in a moment. I'm trying to... Come here. I've known him since you were what? 2?
3.
Yeah, 3. And he's like a teenager. Well, going to become a teenager if I let him live that long. And him and I have gone through ups, we've gone through downs, we've gone through everything back and forth. And I've never been prouder to have a son other than this one right here.
And my favorite moment was the one you just said, though.
Yeah, okay. Now, go eat your dinner. Say hi to everybody.
Hey.
What's up, buddy?
All right.
What's going on, bud?
Quit smiling for the camera and go.
Bye.
Yeah, get.
There's only one YouTube star around here, son.
Oh no, my kids have their own nicknames. They have everything. They want to do their own channel. They want to do their own stuff, and I'm like, not in my house. But still, it's weird raising somebody else's. You know, the only way I can put this is with mine. It's somebody else's leftovers because his dad denied his existence, and we had to make him take a DNA test to prove it. And what's really weird is if you look at my son and my son's donor, add about a good 4 feet, 300 pounds, and they're identical. And Amber's donor, yeah, hasn't seen her since she was born. Amber actually believed for the very longest time they bought me at a dad's store.
Really?
Yeah.
Was like this dad store like Walmart or something? You just walk down the aisle and
You pick the one you want,
no,
right?
I'm not in the chubby redheads. Nope, I don't like scarred up guys. Nope, let's move on.
Pretty much.
Yes,
Chris was
old
married.
guys with gray beard and yep. This is me. I'll take him.
Yep. I mean, I've said it before, and I'll keep saying it. I was a boy until I met my family. Then I became a man. They turned me into something different, and they helped save my life. So it's weird how much that I'll kill to protect them. I don't even want to know who's giggling right now, but
Who's
who's
giggling?
creepy.
Whose giggle is that?
Johnny's,
Oh, okay.
My
Johnny's
demonic.
It ain't
smiling, and I'm hearing a giggle.
I'm laughing at the giggle. That's why it's funny.
It sounded like an
Unbelievable.
evil child.
He
Right.
is an evil child, so I'm worried.
Pretty soon he's gonna leap from the corner and leap right onto the top of Tevin's head. View.
But yeah,
Oh
it's just,
man.
it's one of those, and I know you're probably hitting at this, Joe. My greatest fear is their donors are going to pull their head out of their asses and try to challenge to get custody of my children, and they're going to have a hell of a fight.
So I've got an opposite experience. Oh, I guess not an opposite experience to that, but I've got one that went bad for me. So my ex that I was with this is after my failed marriage. After her, I met a girl and we were together for almost 7 years, and she was coming out of a shitty relationship herself. And we found each other and we started to help each other, and her kids were just extremely unhappy in their life because of their sperm donor. And they latched on to me, and we were family. That was it. You know what I mean? Those were my kids. Nobody was going to tell me any different. There might not have been the official title, but they were mine.
Yep.
And then on the other end of that, when she decided that, I don't know, I guess I got boring or whatever, as she put it, the beard world came before her. That's the way she said it to me. She left and won't let the kids contact me. So to me, I've never understood something like that. Me and those kids had a very serious relationship. The daughter literally looked at me as what a father's supposed to be, and you won't. I got, all right, fine, you don't want to be with me, but why would you stop the kids from seeing me? I've never understood that aspect.
It's absolute pettiness, you know. I tried to let my son talk with his donor, and I think the last time they talked was like 6 years ago. And his donor actually told my better half, "Oh, I'll be a part of his life, but Chris can't be a parent, period. He's not allowed to do anything with my son." And I'm like, then man and do something, you know?
Mm.
You've denied him forever, and now that he's got a successful life going, I've helped him overcome anger and all his ADHD issues and everything else. We got him on the right meds. Now you want to come in when the heavy lifting's done?
Oh, yeah, I mean, listen, I like I said, I'm in an opposite situation than I think is the norm, or at least what's considered the norm. In most situations, people think that it's the dads who don't do their heavy lifting, and it's the moms who get left on their own to do it all. And in my situation, I've had it different than that. My ex spent a couple years in jail and halfway houses and everything else, and me and Sam have had to lean on each other. And then now I don't want to down talk her on. All right, so let's just leave it like this. She gets to be the best friend and have fun.
Yeah.
I have to be the parent.
Yep, I hate that. God, I hate that.
And it seems unfair to me because where I have to be the parent and I have to look at my daughter and go, yeah, okay, yeah, it would be awesome to have those $200 headphones, but it'd be even better to have food. She can then turn and be like, oh, yeah, let me find a different pair of headphones for a lot cheaper, but because your dad couldn't get you the expensive ones, I still look like a hero here.
Yeah, but
meanwhile, I don't take care of anything else, though.
At least you're honest. You know, like when we go to the store, I do this thing with my kids where it's like, okay, you guys have X amount of bucks to spend, and I'm teaching my kids how to budget at an early age. And we'll have conversations about, yeah, Daddy really wants that video game that's like $120. But what do you think would be a lot more important? Do you want to play that video game and starve for a week? Or do you actually want to like have, you know, chicken nuggets, fish sticks? You want those pizza rolls you love so much? And it's really
who doesn't love pizza rolls? There's somebody who doesn't like pizza rolls?
Right? It's really comical watching
I like to eat
kids.
pizza rolls on top of bagel bites.
Oh, it's so good. Yes.
Nice. It's just comical watching my kids have a conference in the middle of Walmart about what they want more and trying to come to a decision, you know?
So wait, I'm sorry, Ken. I don't. If you did say it, I apologize. I didn't hear it. I know you're their step parent. Is their real dad involved at all?
Yeah, I mean that's actually where they are right now. They're up in Wisconsin.
Okay.
So they go up there for a few weeks out of the summer. They go for spring break, fall break, and then like every other Christmas stuff like that. We meet halfway, all that good stuff. So I was sitting here thinking while you were talking. So I've kind of got both. So my oldest son, my son, his mom lives, I mean, literally 5 miles away from where I live. We get along. Everything's cordial. We don't agree on everything, but it's always cordial. It's always respectful. We respect each other, and that's that, right? On the other side, so my two youngest, my stepkids, it's not quite as cordial. We would like it to be, but it's not. Kind of what you were saying with the whole responsibility thing, right?
Yeah.
I pay, and I don't mind. Let me say first, I do not mind doing this at all. This is no complaint whatsoever. But I pay for the insurance, I pay for the health, the dental, the braces, everything, and they have fun. I'll just leave that at that because I don't want to talk bad about somebody.
Right. No, I understand.
I don't want that to come across that way, but it's we kind of have the two differences in those two different dynamics.
it's frustrating, is what it is. And again, I don't really see it as you're talking mad or negative about someone. You're just being honest, and the honest part of it is 365 days a year I have to take care of my child. That's the job of a parent.
Right.
That's not the other parent's job in this situation, though. And to me, that's frustrating because, again, especially I'm on disability. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like I've got a reoccurring income here and things are all well and good. And I'm just like, hey, I don't need your help. No, I could use the help. It's just, it doesn't come in. So things get frustrating and you get angry, and it's something you have to learn to manage, though, because if you're constantly flipping out or getting mad about it, all the person it affects is your child. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, and for me, it's not so much, I mean, I can deal with it. I don't mind at all taking care of them. I mean, like I said, I do consider myself to be their dad, not taking it away from him because he is legally and technically their dad. I don't mean disrespecting him that way, but I consider them my kids. I take care of them and love them just like they are. And so the only time that I get really frustrated is when disrespect comes our direction, especially to my wife. I will not take my wife being disrespected.
Thank you. Ain't happening. If I can't do it, you can't do it.
That's when we have issues, yeah.
All right. Are you guys all from the, I guess we'll call it standard home situation?
No.
So, like, you work, wife stays home, or what's the situation there?
Oh, is that what you mean? Yes.
Oh, yeah, I thought you meant like upbringing, like,
No, I'm not talking.
I thought. So
we're not here to talk about your parents. We're here to talk about your parenting.
We can have a whole nother line. We'll talk about my parents to this day, even to this morning.
You guys, I'm going to mute. I will be right back, and I'll be last, okay?
All right.
I don't care.
So, Tevin, what's your situation like at home?
As far as working,
who takes care of the kid? Right. Who works? Who takes care of the kids? What's the schedule like?
Okay, so as far as I'll go back to my son's raising because it plays a role now. When my son was born, my wife took care of him. She stayed home with him, and even when she worked, she brought him to work because she worked at a daycare. And then when my daughter was born, that's when the roles kind of flip-flopped. That's when she graduated and was able to get her job like she always talked about. That's when I quit my job to stay home, finish college, and take care of the kids. But my son would prefer that his mom is here all the time. He's not used to me. He's not used to me being here. As for Colin, ever since she was 2 months old or 3 months old, I've been home. So she works as of now, taking care of the bills and whatnot. And occasionally I'll work a side job or something just to make ends meet just a little bit. And then, I stay home and I do most of the parenting, the cleaning, and all the housework, the stay-at-home kind of dad role. But, as far, my son he's not used to it. He's more up to listening to my wife than he is me.
But see, is that just because she was home with him, or is that something that is deep ingrained in the parenting situation where, hear me out here, boys are always more apt to the mother. Always, dude. Always. And girls will always be daddy's little girl. In every situation I've ever seen, it never fails. Like, yes, sons will love their dad, but there is nothing like a mother and their son, and there's nothing like a father-daughter for some reason. Why it works that way, I'm not sure, but it just always does seem to work that way.
I definitely know he's a mother, he's a mama's boy, and, I'm a mama's boy, so I understand, but I think it's literally because I worked all the time. When I worked 12-hour days, 7 days a week. There was times where I never was home or stayed home for a single day because my job required me to get called in and work. So I really think it's both that A, he's a mama's boy, and then B, he's used to her being around. He's not used to me being around. Like seriously, in the past, I wasn't home except for at night.
I can actually completely understand that because when Sam was first born, I had just lost a job that was paying me decent money, and I had to take 2 jobs on to make up for that. So for the first year of Sam's life, I would leave the house at 5 a.m. before she would wake up, and I wouldn't get home until 11 o'clock at night when she was already in bed. So the only time I would see my daughter was on the one Sunday where I only worked the one job, and that was for only about 2 hours.
Yeah.
So I can understand that. Chris, what's it like at home for you, brother?
Well, I am the stay-at-home dad. When we moved up to Skagit Valley, I had never been here before, other than when I was going to Canada to watch some hockey. We passed right through. Didn't know anyone up here, didn't know how to get around, any of that. And it freed my better half up to go pursue jobs she wanted to get. And we didn't know that right out of the bat she would have what she calls her dream job. So I sacrificed a bunch to be there for the kids. You know, get them up, get them moving, breakfast, lunch, dinner, do all of everything while she's at work. It's on me, you know. It's weird because a lot of people will sit and go, well, are you gay? And I've had actually people ask me that because I'm a stay-at-home dad. And I'm like, no. It's just how things worked, you know. If we were in a different area...
Stay-at-home dad, who do you think made the kids?
Yeah, but if originally, look at my situation before Brianna. 2 stepkids. I didn't make them.
Oh, okay. All right.
You know?
Still, I don't know. It's a dumb question. It aggravates me, but that's beside the point. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. Like, my brother-in-law was like, yeah, I always thought you were like her, how do you put it? You were her gay housemaid. And I'm like, yeah, love you too, right here.
There's a term for that, but I'm not gonna say it because it's just a bad term.
I'm being as politically correct as I can.
Yeah.
All right? We're keeping it as low-key as possible.
Chris, you're not on my channel. It's okay.
No, but I'm on Joe's channel, so I'm behaving.
Just kidding, Joe.
I mean, I'm good, dude. I'm more loose with things on these lives and stuff, but certain things you just don't want to touch because
Absolutely.
it's going to piss somebody off out there. So
I know.
Right.
I'm not poking any more bears, and we're going to leave it just like that.
Yeah.
But it's enabled to free me up to do other things that she's somewhat been supportive of. You know, like my YouTube channel in the beginning, she really wasn't. But now that it's starting, you know, it's monetized. It's starting to generate money. Things are starting to happen. She's a lot more supportive of it. And it works out where our schedules mesh beautifully. You know, it's like I can film on these days. I can do this. I can go do whatever I got to do. She can do whatever. She's what's called a float. So if somebody calls in sick, her schedule may change at a moment's notice. And it's not like she has to worry about finding a babysitter because I'm here. You know, they're my kids. I'm there for my kids.
Right. Johnny, what was home life like? Because I know things have changed for you more recently because of COVID and stuff like that. But
yeah, so for the first, for the first few weeks, you know, my wife didn't go to work. I was still going at work. I was still full time. I was a dispatcher at the time, so my day was, you know, 4:45 a.m. to about 6 p.m. at night, and my wife was home. She just so happened, things fell like it was like cogs in a wheel. How it happened for us, and like things happen for us like this way a lot. So, I mean, it was just like amazing. So, I'm working. She's at home with the baby for her 2 weeks off, like, you know, medical leave or whatever they gave her, and then family leave. So then when coming off of her family leave, they offer her the opportunity to work from home. So she was like, perfect. So she worked from home while I worked during the day, and she was taking care of the baby while working from home at the same time. So when I got home from work, you know, then she would have her break, like she would be like, you know, off, like she would, you know, have her time to relax, get herself together, you know, fix herself some dinner, you know, go to sleep early and all that stuff, and wake up for the feedings because she was breastfeeding and all that stuff. And then so it worked out that way for like the first 5 years. So like we bought this house. We came here. her office came in and set up what is my recording studio now. Used to be her office. They set her up with her computer, her printer, her fax machine, everything. Like, so she worked from home while having the kids, while I was free to do, not have any changes in my job. But when COVID hit, and I now lost my job, she flipped over to being a full-time nurse at a private doctor's office. So now, like, I'm stay-at-home dad right now, while she works, whatever she needs to work over there to advance her career in that company. That's the smart play to do right now, because she can work whatever schedule she needs to, and she's going to be moving up, in promotions in her company because she's so readily available, and I'm here to watch the kids and stuff. So it's like we're flipping roles right now. Like the first 5 years, I went to work morning till night, Monday through Friday. Thank goodness I had a job that I didn't work any weekends at all. And she worked every other weekend, not every weekend. So things just worked out really well for us. And like now we got to see how the school schedule is, because I'm still going to need to get a job. Like she'll make that much money. Yeah. so to see what we're going to do. I think we signed up for at-home school for the first marking period, which is like the first few months, because they're actually, I'm hearing that they're calling that the test months, to see how many kids get sick, how many teachers get sick. Who gets
I'm not cool with it either. Yeah, I'm not cool with it either, dude.
Yeah, I'm ready to throw my kid into the test pool. So we opted out. We completely opted out for the first few months of school, and they're going to be home. And then, and then we're just going to have to play it by ear. If I have to work, then I have to get a night job, and then things will change again. But you just take these things as they come, and you cross bridges as you get to them and shit. Ain't nothing in life guaranteed. That's the only guarantee.
And Johnny being home with the kids now has also led to some pictures of Johnny looking like he's ready to destroy his children.
Oh, Johnny, that was priceless. I want to put that up somewhere and go, "You owe me money. This is who's going to visit you." And he actually loves that little one,
Yeah. Imagine what he's going to do to you. Because Johnny, I could see that look on your face of, good God, if somebody come take this kid anywhere right now, just anywhere.
Oh, no, I'm just kidding. I love that. I love those moments.
Absolutely.
Those are the moments right there. It's funny because she was on the side of my head. She was just going, Dad, 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 like over and over again, Dad, Dad. And I'm like, and I'm trying to take this picture and being as serious and mean as possible. But as soon as the picture was over, I was laughing. I was cracking up.
What do you mean trying to be mean and serious? That's exactly what came across.
Because she was making me laugh.
It's like I'm about to rip her arm out of the socket and beat her with it.
The one morning I woke up, right, and Sam was maybe 5, okay? And I'm opening my eyes, and I'm seeing something moving around my face as I'm opening my eyes. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? I'm trying to wake up. I'm like, all right, hold on, what's going on? And then all of a sudden I see my daughter's face in front of mine, and she's like, hey, Dad. And I'm going, what are you doing? And she's like, drawing. And I was like, on my face? And she was like, well, yeah, you weren't up to get me paper.
Oh, yeah, well, that's your fault right there.
Yeah.
And I went, okay, I guess that's my fault, right? Yeah, I guess I'll take that one. All right, cool. Right? That's my fault. That's my fault. I should have been up before you. Then I looked at the clock and I said, 6 a.m. What the hell time did you get up? But whatever. Still my fault. Ken, home life.
So first, let me speak to what Johnny was talking about with the kids being the test bed for going back to school. I won't spend much time on this, but that drives me crazy. It's the same way here. They're doing the same thing here. They kind of gave us a choice, and we decided to keep our kids home for the very same reasons.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say this, and I hope school administrators come across this video at some point and actually care a little bit about what I'm saying about this. If you guys have to meet virtually to plan whether or not our kids can come to school, then maybe the kids should stay home.
Thank you.
Exactly.
That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I'm going to add to that. My kid's not a friggin' testing rat. You're not going to send my kid into a situation to see if it's safe yet or not. Nope,
Yeah, but
doesn't work that way.
come
Yeah,
out here
we'll
to
keep 'em
Washington
home.
State. Yeah, come out here to Washington State. In my county, it wasn't an option. They were like, nope, virtual learning beginning of the year. We'll go from there.
That's
Oh,
the way
wow.
it should be, because cases are climbing. But anyway, that's not what you asked me. No, home life for us is pretty. I guess you could say we're pretty traditional 1950s family. I don't know what you'd call it. My wife is a stay-at-home mom. She kills it. She's amazing. Mrs. Bluegrass is an amazing woman. I don't know if she's listening. That's not for brownie points. She really is.
Oh, BS.
and
What'd you screw up?
No, nothing, man.
You're in a live going, she's amazing. I love her. She's wonderful. What'd you do wrong?
I mean, I probably did screw something up because I am a husband. But
He's just, it's not that he actually screwed anything up.
You don't
He's
know
just-
yet. That's what
He's
it
just
is.
putting them in the bank now. That way when he screws up later, he's like, hey, remember that live where I said you were great? I love you. Like,
But no, so she's a stay-at-home mom. And pre-COVID, I go to work, and I work for a large company. I work in IT. That's all I can really say about where I work. But so pre-COVID, I went to work. I got up in the morning. I drove to work, worked all day, came home. She's got dinner ready, all that traditional stuff, right?
right.
Now, since COVID, I work from home. I'm actually sitting in my office right now. This is where I work. And it actually became permanent. So I'm now permanent work from home, and she's staying home. So that's
Real quick, Ken, do you work for anti-missile defense?
Don't tell him. Non-disclosures. Don't tell him.
I can neither confirm nor deny that, sir.
I have a friend that does. That's why. Anyway,
No, I
yeah.
don't. I don't. But no, we're pretty traditional that way. She takes care of the house. I bring home the money, and that's kind of how our family, and it works well. Our kids. I love working from home now because the kids will wake up in the morning. They'll come down here and they'll say good morning. My daughter will come down and hang out for a few minutes, and she's my little girl. And it's funny. She'll tell my wife, she's like, "I'm not your girl. You gave birth to me, but I'm not yours anymore."
Wow.
So, yeah, it's pretty funny. But anyway, no, that's us. I work from home. My wife stays at home. She takes care of the schooling stuff right now with the way this is going on, and she does a great job.
Ken,
Awesome.
all those brownie points you just built up like 3 minutes ago, you just lost right there. I'm just saying.
Oh,
right.
no, I didn't. My wife knows that. My daughter tells her that. I don't have to say anything.
But you're a guy. You're always wrong.
All right, so we're going to touch on one more thing here because it's almost time to wrap up, and we still actually have a giveaway to do brought to us by Chronic Beard Co. So,
Yeah, I didn't know we had a giveaway, huh? Yeah.
yeah, see, I mean, for all the people who ran out of here to go watch people stuff their faces with nachos, hey, I can't help you now. I mean, you better get back here before we're done with this last conversation piece. By the way, who's winning the eating challenge? I can't watch. Who's winning?
Tyson won.
Of course he
Well, he
did.
won it in a minute, like a minute.
Of course he
30 or
does.
A
something.
minute and a half, yeah.
Yeah, of course he did. The dude-
5 pounds of nachos in a minute and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was the nacho grande platter from Taco Bell, I
He's
mean,
not
it
human,
was
first of all.
nacho, but he ate it very, very quickly. Like, he was like,
That's how he does. You can't bet against Tyson. I'm sorry.
Have you ever seen?
I would never.
Have you ever actually seen nachos from those places? It's
Yeah,
not
they're
like the nachos you make at home where you have like
No.
this big mound of nacho with tons of meat, and it's a
It's
minimal
very-
kind of thing.
yeah,
You
and
can
in the
work through
center,
that pretty
everything's
quick.
soggy. In the center, it's all
Yeah.
soggy. Yeah, it's all right.
Tyson's part boa constrictor. He just unhinges that jaw. And,
That's what I said. It's like that.
Bob's like, straight bearded's like, ha! I'm still here. He's like, I got a chance at winning. Nobody else is here still.
Yeah,
What's going on, guys?
Beardius Maximus is actually challenging Tyson to a wing eating contest, so we'll see.
All right, so the last thing I want to talk about, though, before we do this giveaway, real quick,
Yeah, there's a
And it-
contender.
we're gonna jump big topics here, right? We're gonna move on a bit. I want to talk about something that, as a parent, drives me a little nutty these days, and it's the lack of what I'm seeing out there, and it's the lack of basic respect and morals in some of the teenagers and that generation. And Devin, I'm not talking about you. Relax. Listen, I know we were all teenagers, right? But even when I was a punk teenager, I still had a base set of morals and respect that I was taught by my father. You're out in the street, you act one way. If there's adults around, though, if there's elders around, you act a totally different way. You walk in somebody's home, you have a certain level of respect you bring into that home. If not, when you get home, I'm going to break your jaw. That was the way we were told things.
Yeah, that was like the great time of the 70s and the 80s. Then the hippies took over, now you can't even sneeze at your kid.
Oh, I wasn't even told anything. I acted up. It was quick.
Thank you. 5 across the eyes.
It was a swift.
But am I
action.
the only one who's actually noticed this?
No.
No.
No, it's different now. Like you can't do. I mean, you can, but then you got to deal with the repercussions later after you do something like that. Now, you know.
But I think the biggest difference is this, and let's see if you guys can relate to this or not. When I was a kid on my block, we were all outside all day long, hanging out. We're playing football, we're playing manhunt, we're playing tag, whatever.
Yeah.
If I'm down on the other end of my street and I broke something, or I broke a car window or whatever, or I mouthed off to another parent, that parent whooped my ass. And then when I got home,
You got
and
it twice
I
as hard.
told my dad I got my ass whooped by another parent, it wasn't my dad going to fight that parent. My dad didn't whip my ass because he wanted to know what I did that made said parent whip my ass.
Right.
You know what I mean? There was a basic understanding of things.
I just ran. If I did something, I ran like all my might, like as fast as possible.
Yeah, but
I got away from that neighbor.
But here's a huge difference. Okay, when we were growing up, you know, nowadays it's child abuse and all this other stuff. Last school year, literally, I had child services at my door wanting to check and make sure my son had a coat because he keeps losing coats, mittens, hats, gloves, everything. He just loses them.
Oh my god, I fucking can't
Thank you,
stand it.
Johnny. He lost like 10
Easy,
in a
Johnny.
month.
Easy, Johnny.
Oh, because
He
you know how many
lost-
jackets I had to buy.
Thank you. I'm with him 100%. He lost 10 in a month, and I told him, you lose this one, you're not getting another one. So he told his teacher that I'm scared I'm ever going to get another coat, and his teacher called child services.
Ha! I'm sorry, that's not funny. Yes, it is.
No, I got one more for you, Joe. This is Washington State. So my son, he's very reactive. Like if you tickle him, full body spasm. Things just launch out everywhere. Well, he was on the ground. I tickled him. Foot launched right out and caught both the twig and berries and crushed them. To the point where I had to puke. Move the kid, get in the bathroom, let dinner fly. He got a rug burn about that size because I moved him. Because he went to school and said Daddy and I were playing and there was a rug burn. Child services.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, and that seems to be a basic problem here. See, when I was growing up, there was a saying, right? Parents that I knew said this saying quite often. Who are you going to call? You're going to call Dyfus? How are you going to call someone with a broken fucking hand?
Yeah.
My
Or it takes 20, 30 minutes for them to get here.
Thank you.
And
That's what my mother said.
you're all until then.
That's what my mom said. Do you know the average
Or
response time
the
in
other one
911?
was
10 minutes.
the
You know
other
what I
one
can do
was
to you in that
there's
10
a
minutes?
there's a response time. Yeah, exactly. You think you're going to survive that response time? So there was a basic fear of parents.
Johnny's having a good childhood memory right now. Look at him.
But today, man, these kids, there's just like zero respect out there.
Yeah.
Like when I was younger, if we were walking down the street, me and a group of my friends, and we saw a mom walking with their kids, we moved out of the way for the mom and the kids.
Yep.
Nowadays, like they just walk right into them and they expect the mom and the kids to move. Like, I know that seems stupid, but to me, that's a big deal. It's a matter of respect.
Mm-hmm.
You should have respect for that child and that mom.
Yeah, but look at everything else. In sports, they don't keep scores anymore because it makes the other team feel bad that they're getting beat 1,000-1. You know, every team that shows up for a tournament, whether you came in 97th place, you get a trophy because we need to worry about your self-esteem. When we were growing up, you got your ass kicked. You either trained harder in the offseason and got better, or you keep getting your ass kicked.
Or you quit.
That wasn't an option in my house. Irish Catholic.
Actually, that wasn't an option for my dad either. If we signed up for something, we played.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, Tevin's shaking his head like, yeah. If my dad didn't force us to play anything. But if you signed up for it, you signed up for that. You're going to honor your obligations now.
Absolutely.
And you're going to fulfill what you said you were going to do.
I knew I didn't want to do anything. I didn't sign up for shit.
There you go. See? An Italian not signing anything, not doing anything. Another Italian signing up contracts. Which Italian looks happier? That's all I'm saying.
Chris,
See,
you should be very careful when you talk to Jersey Italians this way. You never know who we know.
That's why I'm staying quiet. This is all you, buddy.
I've got 3 kids and a better half. I'm ready to die. Bring it.
But what Rob said here, honesty, respect, and morals, ethics no longer come standard in today's humans. And that's a terrible shame. I have to agree a little bit. I honestly have to agree. And it's on a basic level, too. It's little things that I see when I'm out. You know what I mean? The lack of respect out there is just honestly staggering to me sometimes. And it doesn't make sense to me because we were raised differently. You know, I'm not going to say my parents were perfect. Every parent makes mistakes. Yeah. But we were taught a basic respect and decency towards other people.
Exactly.
Right. The problem comes down to the fact that I think all of us are probably raised the same way, like what you're talking about, right? But there's been, it seems like the last couple of decades, it's been rising, this bubbling thing of not teaching respect and morals, right? At the end of the day, it comes down to us as parents to put that into our kids. And the problem we have is that there's too many parents that are not doing that. They would rather sit like this all day, right, than help with homework or do what they have to do to teach their kids. And I'll admit, now look, I'm preaching to the choir to myself because I'm guilty of that sometimes of spending too much time on devices. Obviously, what we do, right?
Yeah.
But there's too many parents that they don't spend time with their kids. They don't spend the time to teach their kids the things that we're talking about. And on the basic surface, that's the problem.
I have to agree with you, sir. I do. There's too many parents. How did my dad put it the one time? I'm trying to remember exactly what he said. He said this is what he said to me. He said, when I was growing up, it was parents who were willing to let Mr. and Mrs. Huxtable raise their kids. He said, now it's parents who are willing to let YouTube raise their kids while they sit there and watch World Star and see who got knocked out recently.
Right.
And that's the basic issue with things today. And while I can't sit here and say, I'm a perfect parent. Again, nobody's perfect, dude. I make my mistakes every day. But one of the things I've always put into Sam's head is, you walk into someone's house and you act a fool, when you come home, you've got hell to pay, and that's a promise. To me, there's nothing worse than your kid going somewhere else and acting up in somebody else's home.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
The collapse of The collapse of proper behavior of children happened near the advent of social media. Too much info has ruined them. You're probably right. It's probably part of what's gone on. And it's probably, again, it's just everything. But at the core of it, it's just parents being willing to be parents.
Yeah. And I agree with Rob to a certain point. He's absolutely right. The only thing that I would say to that is that too much info is not bad because information is what we learn. But the problem and I'm pretty sure what he's saying is that we're not monitoring the information that they're getting.
Yes. That's what I think he's trying to say.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think that's where he's going to. Because information is good. What information is the question?
Absolutely a great thing. And the advent of social media and the internet and everything else has given us tools, actually, where if you're doing your job as a parent, it gives you tools to help you better do your job. To have resources and things like that to teach them things. Right. But for most parents, it's, oh, wait a minute, what? You know what? Here, take the damn tablet and go leave me alone, please.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but you also got to add one more to his list down below. Look at reality TV. Too many people today want to be instant stars.
Yes.
When you have MTV throwing shows out there like 16 and Pregnant, and these people are getting paid a lot of money to be on these shows. Or you have all these idiots who are on YouTube, us included, where they're like, oh my God, look, I'm just playing with this toy. And I'm making, $5,000 on this one video because it's sponsored by whoever. And everybody else is getting out there and going, I want to do that.
Can you throw Michael Girardi's comment up there? Along when it may not fit, depending on how StreamYard does that. But okay, it works.
Totally agree with Ken. I love my kids so much. Always teach them honesty, kindness, integrity, and initiative. I have very, very little problems. I educate after punishment always.
Yeah, that last
Right.
sentence there, that very last sentence is the most important part of his
Yes.
whole statement. Educate after punishment. I always try to tell my kids why I'm making the decision that I'm making.
Yep.
Why I'm punishing them, whatever. And that's really important. Our house, and I want to be careful how I say this because I don't think you don't have to be a Christian to be a good person. And that's not what I'm going to say here at all. But in our house, my kids are raised in church. I was raised in church. We learned from a very, very early age biblical principles that I think tie into a lot of this, right? And again, I'm not saying you have to believe that to be a good person because you absolutely don't. There's plenty of good people that don't believe. But for us, what he says about having very, very little problems, I think for our family, that's what has gotten us there.
Right. And I think that's something that perhaps the one thing I had against the older generation of parenting was that there was a time there where we could get our ass whooped and not get an explanation for it. It was just, what did I say? You do what I say. There
Right.
wasn't an explanation to it always.
Yeah.
So that's where we could have taken that and learned and been like, okay, well, I hated it when I got my ass whipped and at least didn't know why I got my ass whipped. So now you educate, and you're absolutely right. But
Yep.
But
I think there's just a basis of like people afraid to actually parent their kids these days.
Yeah, but I've seen it go the exact opposite way. I've seen people go, I will never raise my child how I was raised, and they want to be their kid's best friend, and you can't
Doesn't work that way.
do that.
Nope.
You know,
Right.
it's my job, unfortunately I failed with Tevin, you know, to keep my daughters off the stripper pole. It's not
Wait,
my
actually,
job.
you actually brought him up, so I'm actually curious real quick because we have about 6 minutes left here. Tevin, I just would like to hear your thoughts on the morals and the standards of today, if you don't mind.
It all comes down to it doesn't come naturally. You got to teach it to your children. I mean, I love what Ken said. I mean, it's up to a parent. If you didn't know this, or if you haven't figured it out by now, we parents are our child's first teachers. We are their developers. We are, seriously, anything, how they act in public and how they treat people, it comes from us. They observe us at a young age. How we talk to people, and we got to be very cautious. And I'm preaching to the choir myself. I got to be very cautious of what my son sees and what my son hears of how I talk to people, whether I like that person or whether that person is frustrating me, because I have a problem with patience. And my son displayed a behavior of impatience that I didn't like, and he got that from me. So it all comes down to teaching your children, you know, it's not going to come naturally. And we are a society where we're on our social media devices or phones or something like that. I'm also guilty of it, but we got to be more engaged as parents and put an effort into not only bettering ourselves as a parent, but bettering our children, because they truly do take away from what they see us do as parents, as adults, because how they see us as adults is how they typically will grow up.
Yeah, and you're right. We are their first influences. We are their first teachers. We're their first everything, really. Parents might not realize it, and especially if they don't pay attention enough, your kids are essentially you, just with their own version of you.
Yep.
But they take a lot of your aspects, your characteristics, like Tevin said, the way you treat others, the way you handle things. You're their first experience with a lot of that stuff. So when they're first starting off on their own, they're doing things the way they think their parents would handle it because they don't really know any other way of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I'm scared.
There's been plenty of times that I've had to apologize to my kids because I either reacted wrong to somebody else or reacted even to them, right? Where they'll do something that's against the rules, or they'll be disrespectful or whatever. And still, even after I discipline, I have to go back and apologize sometimes for the way that I initially reacted to them, because that's very important also for them to see me reacting appropriately. And I don't always get that right. I've apologized to my kids more than I can count on two hands.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm scared crapless. I've got 2 daughters that basically I've been raising, so I'm really worried about what I'm teaching them because I want them to date somebody so much better than me. I don't want them settling for anything that's like, oh, hey, here's a piece of candy. It's like, I love you forever, along those lines.
All right, guys. I want to thank everyone for coming on real quick for the first ever dad stream. I'm sure I'm going to do another one. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it like monthly or what we're going to do here. Me and Johnny will probably figure that out. Somehow I roped Johnny into all these ideas.
No,
I don't really know how that happens.
I really don't have any other group of people to
you can say it, Johnny. Friends, you can say it
to bounce like dad stories off of. It's just
no, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why. I just always, whenever I'm doing something, I'm like, you know what? Johnny will do that with me. I'm like, Johnny's always up to do a live, so I'll just message Johnny real quick. Hey, Johnny, you want to do this? Johnny's like, yeah, okay.
At some point, you guys need to do a live together in the same place. You guys live. What'd you say?
Ken, you're preaching to the choir, dude. But me and Johnny are both kind of introverts. We don't go out much, so
same here.
Yeah, it's actually harder than it sounds like.
No, I hear you. This spot right here where I do my videos, where I do live streams. This is like my place. I get it.
Yeah, this is my place.
Right.
Yeah. See. And we actually already talked about it the one time, and Johnny's like, "Oh, I don't know if I got room for you down here." And like,
no,
we were
really,
just sit, and then there's
the one end, and then right here, there's a table right here. So I have I could probably fit Joe right where my arm is at, maybe.
Don't you have a giveaway to do?
Yes, we did. I was getting there. We were talking. I was getting there, dude. Relax. I know what I'm doing. Thank you very much.
Okay. Hey, Joe, I want to say, like old Italian housewives, and it's going to go the next hour and a half. So come on.
I want to say one more thing. So I've seen, earlier in the chat, we joke around with, for example, Devin said something earlier about this being a form of birth control for him and stuff like that. I want to make sure that I'm very clear, though, to end this way, and I'm sure that we probably all agree with this, all the stuff that we go through, all the heartaches, all the pain and the terror and the fear and all the things that we talked about, at the end of the day, those things go away. And being a father is probably my second most rewarding thing in my life behind being a husband to my wife.
Yeah, listen, I can echo what you just said more, except for the second is my number one thing. My marriage failed horribly. So it's my number one thing.
It's not over for you, bro.
Devin, don't listen to him. Combat was easier than raising my daughters.
There is nothing in my life that is more important than me than raising my daughter. Sam is my everything. She's been gone for all of 24 hours right now, and I'm already losing my mind. So for all the complaints and all the things I'll say, I would not be able to live my life without my daughter, and that's just the reality.
Yeah.
But yes, we do have a giveaway here, guys, real quick. And I want to get you out of here because I know you guys are going to go over and check out Dan and Brian and all those guys. So real quick, we have a giveaway. It's from Chronic Beard Co. And it's an oil of choice to the winner. All right. So I don't know how many people are in here. If it's 12, if it's 15, the thing keeps jumping all over the place. So, okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're just going to keep this short, simple, and quick. We're going to do a random number. Only enter once, and remember that the internet prioritizes your answer on your screen. All right? We're going to do random number 1 through 5. Go.
Now we wait for StreamYard.
Yeah, and I can't show you guys. I mean, I can write it down. I can't show you my computer, though, but I can write down the answer here. Here we go.
I got to bounce, guys. I got to put my son to bed.
All right, brother. Thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks for having me on. I hope you guys have a good night.
Love you, Tim, and talk to you soon.
We got answers in. We have the answer in. All right, guys, go ahead and stop. Dun, 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 dun. Dude, I swear to God, this kid gets more lucky on my damn channel than most people I've ever seen in my life. Okay?
Well, he said kid. He said kid. It had to be code. That's
right, I knew it was coming.
Code for the win. That's the second or third time he's won on my channel.
Congratulations, brother.
Congratulations, Devin. You get an oil of choice from Chronic. Just go ahead and reach out to Mike, and he's an awesome dude. Tell him what you want, and he'll get it out over to you, as long as you give him your address, obviously. I want to thank the gentleman, Tevin, who already had a run because he had to go be a dad. That's what tonight's about. I want to thank Ken, Johnny, Chris, all of you guys. Thank you so much for helping me make this thing happen tonight.
Emo.
I was
forget emo.
Did it sound like I was done talking?
Yes.
See, it's like the old man thing. He thinks because he forgets everything, I'm going to forget.
Who are you again? Where am I?
I want to thank Imo, and I even want to thank everybody who said they had interest in doing this, like Chronic Mike and a few others, but life happens and they couldn't be here tonight. Don't worry, guys. We're going to do this again, and I'll have whoever wants to come on is more than welcome. Thank you guys again. Congratulations to Code on the win, and we'll see you guys real soon. Stay safe, stay bearded, and as always, be good to each other and take care of each other, guys.
Thanks, brother.